Welcome back to another weekly OVR shooting drill. This week we're going back to an intermediate drill. This one's a green level. It's called a Weaver drill. There's a couple different ways to do it. This particular iteration we're going to do it with a step, and so it's going to essentially mimic stepping around a barrier or into a room where you're going to have to engage a target. The target doesn't really matter at this point. We're going to do just 2 shots at the target. You can set it up how you want, whatever target you want. You can do 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever shots you want. We're going to keep it simple because the point of this is to work on 1, your weapon manipulation, 2, your foot movement, so you don't cross up your feet too much and stumble and have minimal movement. And then the third part, of course, is to get this on target. This is a drill you're not going to do at the standard ranges, but in all honesty, you can do this at home. And you can set up any form of a wall or anything like that at home and just work on the movement of manipulating your weapon. I'm going to use the pistol. I'm going to have Michael use the rifle. We're going to show you a couple different ways of doing it, as well as showing you a couple different angles of watching how the weapon is manipulated, but also how our feet are moving. Again, you want to make sure that you're taking as few steps as possible to get around that barrier, but you don't want to be taking these giant steps either. So on the Weaver drill step, what we're going to do is I'm going to go from a low ready. On the beep, I'll step to the opposite side of this curtain that we're using as a wall. And again, this could be any barrier you want. And you can work on this at home. Again, you can set this up, be absolutely clear your weapon is cleared. The best thing, honestly, would be just to unload it completely. No magazine, no anything. Or even get a like a blue gun to work on just having that grip and working on maneuvering it. So I'm going to do this from the right to the left side, and then we'll bounce back on the other angle here in a second. So once again, the target isn't important on this. The important thing is maneuverability, manipulating your weapon and maneuvering your feet. So you want to make sure you're keeping your feet at a good, steady, comfortable level. I'll go from the low ready. On the beat, I'll move to the opposite side of this curtain, and this could be any barrier that you have at the house. Quick step, engage. And notice I keep my weapon up for a little bit. I don't immediately bring it down to the low ready. So we're going to run the drill one more time. On this one, we're going to focus a little bit more on what the foot movement is. As you can see, coming from the side, again, shoulder width or so far apart on the feet, and in a nice, comfortable, athletic type stance. So what we don't want to do is take a huge, giant step. We're better off to take a couple of smaller steps. Step, join, get a good solid base. You can see where my feet are a nice solid base now. Again, I'm not really overstretched or overleaned.
So the first method I'll show is at a modified low ready, where you can see the buttstock is over my shoulder. So from there, I'll bring the weapon in, I'll break the rifle, step, step, up, engage. The second method, I'll be at a modified high ready, where the buttstock is generally under my elbow. From there, I will bring the weapon up, step, step, present weapon, flip to fire, engage.
This is one of those drills, like I was saying, that you can't really do at a standard range. They don't allow you to move around obstacles to shoot, but it's really important, especially from a self-defense standpoint, because you really want to get behind barriers. At the same time, if your intent is you want to learn how to clear your home or do some form of CQB, this is also important because that's what you're basically doing is you're stepping into a room around the barrier, around the wall to get in the doorway. So again, you can't really do this at any other range. So take advantage of OVR. Come on in here, work on these drills. We can set it up however you want. We can put 2 barriers to shoot around. We can have multiple targets. Really up to you. And we train the way you need to train to make you a better shooter. Anything you want to add, Michael?
Just a caveat off of what Ed said. Yes, there is ranges where you can go and do this on big property, but they generally cost a lot of money. Plus, with the price of ammo, there's really no other place that you're going to get this type of training for this type of price.